Technical difficulties. Let's see here. So I need the video and the microphone to work at the same time. Okay. Let's do this. So many tabs. Okay. Okay, you guys, if you want to join, I will be putting the link in the comments below. That shall be there for your clicking pleasure. There it is. Booyah. My camera's not working, so as soon as a person comes in, I will be coming back into the chat room to fix that. So that's something I'm working on. Okay. Hey, David, what's up?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me and everything?
Yep. Yeah, you're
Awesome.
coming in great.
Perfect.
So, so my camera's not working, so I'm gonna leave and come back. I don't think that'll shut it down, will it?
I don't know.
Let's see.
Like, leave it open in another tab. I don't know. You try whatever.
Okay.
You just start another one.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. John Smith. It's a very American name. Oh, he's back.
There we go.
Ah,
That's what I'm
there
talking
it is.
about. All right. How you guys doing?
Hey guys.
Good.
I'm alright.
So this is the Logic Church.
Yeah, you guys ready for some Logic Church?
Yes. Do we have Logic hymns to sing?
Well, I have a bunch of stuff. I wrote like a list of things to talk about.
Awesome.
So, but I mean, so we may get a little more intense than we usually do. I try not to go down too many dark paths, but sometimes.
Follow all the darkness, yeah. That's what we should definitely do.
Oh yeah. Have you guys ever had dragon fruit before?
No, what is that?
This is dragon fruit.
No.
It's crazy. Look at that. That's a fruit. That's a fruit,
really...
dude.
Do you have to peel it? I mean, what is it? I don't even...
Yeah, it's got like...
Honestly, that looks like mint ice cream or something.
It looks like rice or something. It looks like rice.
You know mint ice cream you get chocolate?
Yeah, it does look like the mint chocolate chip ice cream. Just all mashed up.
It's a fruit, though, for real. I'll take it out. I'll show you guys. Man, it's just crazy.
What's it called again?
Dragon fruit? Yeah.
Dragon.
Let's see if
I'm
it'll
gonna
focus.
Google it, get a little... Oh, so it is... Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird, huh?
It's like red on the outside. It looks like a flame with the outside of the fruit. And then the inside looks like mint chocolate chip ice cream.
It doesn't have any flavor.
Really? Oh,
No, it's got like a really light sweet taste to it, but it doesn't have a flavor. It's really weird. And it's crunchy. It has those seeds in there.
Is it good for you? I mean, does it have nutritional value at all?
I have no idea. I just thought it was funny. I just thought, oh, this is a stupid looking fruit. I want to eat that.
Deserves to be eaten. Yeah, that is very weird. It's a type of cactus. Oh, that's cool.
It has a weird texture.
Yeah. According to
For some reason I thought it was melon or something. Right up in melon.
Yeah, it makes me think of sushi.
Because you know, like some melons, some melons can have like blue body in it, like can look quite blue or green. I thought it was.
Hey, what's up?
Whoa.
Welcome to Logic Church.
Grant.
It's on you.
Oh, did you know they make dragon fruit wine?
That would be weird.
That sounds interesting.
I would totally try it.
Yeah.
So we could start if you guys want. Do you guys have any questions or anything for starters? Like, I want to get to know you guys a little bit. So, do you guys want to like introduce yourself, or you want to ask some questions or something like that, and or anything you want to get off your chest or whatever?
I have a general... Oh, go ahead, John.
Well, I was just going to introduce myself briefly. I'm John Smith. I'm MGTOW.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Am I? What'd you say?
Just that I'm a MGTOW and I'm John Smith.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Couldn't hear. I'm like, what? What did you say? I'm a drummer? I thought you said I'm like a drummer for some kind of band. What's going on? Okay. Awesome. I'm a MGTOW, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that's why we're at church, aren't we?
You know what though? If you meet, I don't know, if you met like the perfect woman for you, you might be like, I don't know. Maybe I'm not so MGTOW anymore. I don't know. But feeling pretty MGTOW right now. So.
It's like an emotion that kind of like goes up and down. I'm feeling pretty MGTOW today, but yesterday I totally wasn't.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm about 20% MGTOW right now, as it is. I guess. I don't know.
That's a good place to be. 20%.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you know, just in general principle, but like not. I don't get into it or get very specific or like call myself a MGTOW. I just don't like. I don't know, groups like that. But
hopefully John will be back. I don't know what happened to John.
Oh.
Was I being rude? I don't think I was being rude, was
I?
I?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he said anything.
Okay, good. Okay.
His microphone was fuzzy. Maybe he's trying to fix that. I don't know.
Okay, sorry. I can't help it. I'm a comedian, so I'll just start making fun of everything. Sorry. Anyway, so.
What about Grant? Is he going to introduce? I'm curious about Grant. I think he's I feel like he's commented on a couple of my videos.
Oh, yeah, Grant. If you want, you can introduce yourself. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure out my phone right now. This is a kind of
Okay.
I've done.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah.
No worries. So David, so you like Alan Watts, and so
I do.
Do you like Terence McKenna?
Yes, I'm a huge Terence McKenna fan. I've been listening to a ton of his stuff on the podcast Psychedelics Salon. I don't know if you've ever listened to that, but it's just
that's cool though. I should check that out.
It's a lot of full like Terence McKenna lectures, which are just super interesting. I keep remembering that like he was making these speeches like when I was 2 years old or something. It's just weird like the time period, but it's so relevant. It's like super. I mean, he could have made some of these lectures yesterday, and it would have made just as much sense.
Yeah,
he's fascinating.
And I heard it was particular. Go ahead.
The CIA op.
That's what some people said about him. Yeah,
I don't
see why.
How could he be one if he was just promoting psychedelics like that? I don't think.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Hearsay.
Doesn't make sense.
But I guess I'm really compelled by his culture is not our friend argument. I think that's a good argument.
That's my favorite part. I mean, because I haven't tried, DMT or like any of the psychedelics, so it's like that part's just entertainment for me. I can't really say that I've had those experiences, but yeah, when he starts talking about culture and stuff like that, that's when I'm like, I can really buy into that stuff.
Yeah.
Just culture. Yeah, culture is not your friend. Culture's this weird like program that people are trying to download into your brain your whole life, and it takes some effort, to resist that, to keep deleting it from your system.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I really think psychedelics do have that effect too. I think they do sort of reboot you.
Yeah.
You kind of reflect on everything, and you can't control it. You're basically forced to face yourself and all of your facets, and it just tears you apart, and then you have to build yourself back.
I want to. Yeah, I want to experience that someday, but it's just I'm almost like already too far on that. I'm so far on that side of the spectrum. I'm like, I don't know how much more can my ego be shattered, but it probably can.
Yeah.
There's Grant. Cool.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Yeah, I agree with what you were saying about the it's really
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, and I just think it's healthy to try to look at something from another point of view. And if people are having trouble trying other points of view within their waking life, sometimes you need something to wake that up, because I think that's something that's really important for people to just try to look at things from another angle. And people just don't get that opportunity if it scares them in their normal lives,
Terence something along the lines of you do it once a month and it kind of do from society.
Yeah. I don't know if I do it once a month.
That's too excessive for you.
It's something that you don't like look, well, maybe you look forward to it, but you don't get excited about that because it's, oh man, because it's not fun. It's not fun. You feel ill.
What's
But,
so? Can you
know.
can you describe your most intense psychedelic experience?
You know,
I don't.
I've never seen anything, but
Yeah.
it's just like a really strong sensation of love. And if you live a good life, when you're on it, you feel so good because it's like, oh, I don't really have anything that bothers me, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever you're doing kind of reflects itself in a little weird way.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this is a question here. Since this is the logic only zone, I mean, do you think it seems weird that you would like psychedelics because I mean, lots of people view them as delusions and they're just hallucinations, and so
Yeah.
lots of very logical people are against psychedelics because they just think it's just people deluding themselves. So what do you think about that?
I think everything is based out of patterns, and psychedelics make that clear that everything is based on patterns, and even within your life, your past patterns and your current patterns and patterns of other people around you, and everything is just a bunch of patterns hitting each other. And that's kind of like so I mean, like, having thoughts like that and thinking of like things like that, that's logical. That's important to try to really get a hold on. Like, is this something we understand, or is this more complex or more simple than we comprehended before? And so these kind of things inspire those sort of thoughts, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, and I like art a lot, so everything I do, I try to be a little arty because
Yeah.
I like beauty. I like created beauty, the idea of being able to create things, and then over time they get destroyed. So something beautiful can be enjoyed, but then it goes away, and that's an okay thing. That's a part of the process. That's how the universe works. That's how things are, and it should be like celebrated all the way through, from creation until death, till everything's gone. And so these are the kind of thoughts that you get, and you don't get these without taking psychedelics. You're not going to talk to somebody and they're going to say something like that. It just won't happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think, I mean, like I said, like, I've never taken like the hard psychedelics. I mean, but I think about that kind of stuff all the time. So I don't think you don't have to like take psychedelics, but it's just, yeah, it makes that thinking a little bit easier. It kind of, like you said, like, it forces you into that kind of mind state. For a lot of people that, like, I guess for people that never ever think about that kind of stuff, then it can kind of like jumpstart that.
Yeah, like spirals like this. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
What's that? What the fuck is that shape? What the hell is that? Why be that shape? What is it? What does that mean?
Yeah.
What is this? You see what I'm saying?
Have you heard of like the Fibonacci sequence? The like in nature, how you see the same pattern repeating in different like natural, like the spirals of a shell or like the Milky Way galaxy, and it's like the same ratio, the golden ratio. I remember I learned about that stuff in like, I think it was in high school, like in my the last math class that I had to take. The teacher was really interesting, was talking about that kind of stuff, and I was like, man, that's awesome. There's like these patterns that are seen all over nature. It's like, I don't know if there's something to that. You know, theists like to use that as like, oh, there's a God that designed it, you know, and it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just that's how it works. So,
yeah, away she goes. It just is. You know, why does it have to? It is, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like,
there doesn't have to be.
Doesn't
have to be like another step beyond that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, why are you presupposing something that, you know, there's no reason to get off to? That's my argument. Like,
do you think it's because people are just bored with it, like get bored? I mean,
yes, we're so bored. We're so bored. Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like that's the only reason whenever I start feeling myself believing in like God or a higher power or something like that, it's always because I'm sort of bored with life. So I have to come up with something else, you know. But I mean, then some other times I'll just kind of settle into, it's just the way it is. Just enjoy it while it lasts. I don't need to explain everything. I can just enjoy it.
Yeah, that's an illness to think you need to understand everything. You know, I don't know anything about physics, and I'm not going to pretend to, and I'm not going to use that to base my life on when I don't understand it. And that's the thing, like, people need to know, like, this is what I understand, this is the level I'm at, and then I'm going to live that way, you know. Instead, people start getting all confused about how they should live their lives and things like this. It just, whoosh, you know. People getting carried away, you know. That's my argument.
Yeah.
You know, everyone needs to chill out.
Speaking of people chilling out, I think you talked about this in one of your videos, but the whole Charlie, what the fuck? I forget what the name of the magazine is. Charlie Hebdo or whatever, the French magazine, and like all the uproar around that. That's something I was looking at the news this morning, and I was like, I mean, there are like protests. Yeah, you're back on. We can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Google mine has just crashed my Chrome, so
Oh.
I had to reset it.
Sorry, man. Fucking Google.
Yeah, this happened last time as well, so. So what did I miss?
Well, I was asking everybody like what they think about the whole Charlie Hebdo thing, because I read this morning there are like counter protests in like Africa and maybe like other European countries, like protesting, you know, the whole French movement around what happened and like.
I'm so confused though. I don't know what you're talking about at all.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
well, I think it was back in
I stay away from news. I don't know
I think it was back in 2010. That South Park did an episode on exactly this response, this kind of response to things.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you remember, it is like a cartoon episode featuring Mohammed where they censor it and things.
Yeah, I've seen like clips
If
of
you've
it.
seen it, you know what it's like.
Yeah.
That's about the only South Park episode I've seen all the way through. That and a few others. But yeah, I mean, it's like from 2011 or 10, where
Yeah.
describing exactly this phenomenon of Americans all burying their head in the sand and nothing is done.
Yeah. Well, okay, I can summarize it for people, I guess. I can summarize the news story.
What can we do? What can Americans do, though? You know, what can we do? We don't control our country. Our country's controlled by other people. I can't do anything in my country. I have no power as a person in the world today. None. So like anybody making an argument against the Americans or something, I don't know if I agree with that.
Political correctness. Oh, you can't say that. That's offensive.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty soon you don't have much freedom of speech.
Well, that's what's funny. That's what's ironic about the Charlie Hebdo thing is like, so it's this magazine. You know, they put pictures of Muhammad on their cover or whatever.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. The Islamic extremists or whatever.
Oh,
they kill some people with the magazine. France, you know, gets together. There's this big, you know, rah-rah, like, we are France, we are Charlie Hebdo, you know, thing. And then at the same time, the French government's, like, arresting people left and right, you know, even if you just speak out against, like, even if you speak out against the whole uproar. Like, there was a comedian that was arrested, like, some French comedian that all he did was, like, post a tweet or something about how he's, I am whoever the dude was that they shot, that they say was one of the shooters in the original terrorist act. So he posted like, I am that guy.
France for being on edge thanks to the massacres, the 2 different incidents? Like, I mean, have you seen the police presence there? I don't blame them for being a bit on edge.
Yeah, they're on edge, but I mean, I think it can also be easily taken advantage of, the situation where, I mean, just like 9/11 and then the war in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's like, that we have to be like, I'm just always like really cautious about the whole counter reaction to, like, you know, massacres like that. I mean, how many people, like, and then I think, like, how many people died in this magazine massacre? Wasn't it like 9 people or something like that?
I think it's 8.
8? Yeah, and it's like, okay, well, you know, 500,000 like children have been killed in, you know, Iraq and Afghanistan during those wars. So it's like, when you think about the numbers, it's like, I mean, is it really that big of a deal? I don't know.
That's an attack in a Western country. I mean,
yeah.
Last year in the UK, there was the brutal beheading of Lee Rigby. But it's either by IS or IS sympathists, so I can't remember which.
Yeah.
And it was a similar response. Not as big, but the fact that a soldier right outside the barracks was killed in a Western country.
Yeah.
By either IS or IS sympathists.
Yeah, which is sort of ridiculous. I mean, it's just like, just because it happens, and it's just kind of a perspective thing. I'm always thinking like, okay, well, I mean, just because it happened in one of our countries doesn't make it like so much more tragic than like all these millions of people dying in
Yes, it does.
third world
I
countries.
don't think it's about tragedy. It's about national safety. I mean, if they could hit these people, our country.
Yeah,
And these attacks proves that we are.
I don't know about,
That they can attack us and have.
Is it not true that we all agree that death in any given situation is bad? And I mean, that's like, and all human beings matter.
Some people have more value to them than others. For instance, if I have...
No, I agree. I actually agree with XPAL now. Never mind, change my mind.
Oh no. What?
If I have people that are more important to me, as well as certain families are going to put more investment into their children than other families put into their children. People put investment.
What is this got to do with?
This is a good point. Like, some people cannot really be that much benefit to anyone, and they're just kind of parasites, and therefore they negate themselves.
I don't really buy that.
All right, let's go into it then.
Go into it, chicken.
All right, are you for humanism?
Me? Humanism? Yeah. I don't know what that. What do you mean?
I'm probably for humanism.
Yeah, could you briefly describe it? Because I'm not.
All right. I don't know if I'm using the word correctly. So since you're for humanism, why don't you describe the term, Andrew?
Just basically, our goal should be to come together as humans, or to protect the value of humans and their rights, and we have to try to do it in the most productive way we can, and try not to do what a lot of people fall into, the social justice garbage, right?
All right.
So we have to
are you
actually try to help people.
Do
you understand what negative rights are?
No, I don't. Go ahead. Explain that.
If someone does, other than me, understand what negative rights, they might be able to say it better than I can. Does anyone else here know what negative rights are?
Not really. I could guess.
I know you must, Midnight, right?
Like the opposite.
No,
right?
I don't.
Oh, you don't? All right. Negative rights. It's basically just people staying out of your way, as opposed to a positive right. Someone saying like you have the right to birth control, and then giving you
I agree.
something from other people. Negative rights are just people not physically harming you, not like enslaving you. So negative rights just like basically just natural rights.
Sure.
I agree. Everybody needs to chill out, leave each other alone, and let each other just be who they want to be, and just back off. That's kind of.
Is that your position, XPal? I don't know what you call you.
You can call me XPaladoc. I would have come in as XPaladoc. It wouldn't let me, for some unknown reason. It said you cannot this page cannot join the session. I tried twice.
Sorry, man. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's probably Google's fault or something. Who knows? But yeah, that's my position. I'm for negative rights. But it's as far as like things like public school. I'm not for things like that. That's like an equal opportunity type situation where like they say, oh, we need to give everyone public school. And then as far as saying everyone is equal to everyone, I'm not for that, because some people put more investment into themselves and some people put more investment into their children, and they can make decisions specifically about their own life saying this is more important to me than that.
Okay, but like on a larger scale, I mean, I think it's useful to have the belief that everyone is equal on a larger governmental scale, because
no delusion
what
is
you're
good,
saying.
No delusion is good for the mind.
Well, are you for affirmative action?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard one. I mean, I don't really know. I have to know what the specific situation is. If it's a company like, I don't know. Yeah, it's hard, because I want to say like companies can hire whoever they want.
Yeah, but aren't you projecting your empathy on others? Like you would be surprised. You're being courteous to other people and being empathetic to them, but a lot of other people, and a very high percentage, don't care if you live or die and are completely self-motivated. So why would you want those people to have the same rights as you? or why would you want those people to have the same opportunities as you when you are a superior person, morally speaking? and should be the one who has the ability to do those things.
Because I don't think I'm a morally superior person. Like
you make objective moral distinctions, or is everything subjective to you?
No, I'm pretty much everything is subjective. I'm not. I mean, morality. Everything. Yeah, I don't see a way out of that. Like morality.
So you don't think there's anything that's right or wrong? Like a mother drowning her children in the tub. You say, oh, that's subjective. She believed it was for the best, therefore she did what she knew was best for those children.
Not objectively. I mean, but like most people, including me, think that it's wrong, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything to anybody else. That's just.
Well, I'd say it does mean stuff to people.
No, but I mean the mother. It doesn't affect the mother who drowns her child. She doesn't care if everybody else thinks that it's wrong. She just did it. So that's why I'm saying like morality is totally subjective. It's not. We can never make it objective.
Well, I don't think just because she does something makes it right, even if she believes it. Is what I'm saying. I believe in having objective. Reality is a useful tool. Number one. I just don't believe in being. I think you see. This is something I've noticed about you a lot. I think you risk being completely nihilistic.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's not. It's going to be objectively bad for you if you become nihilistic to the level you risk becoming.
Therefore, it's bad for you.
I'm always that. Yeah.
Because nihilism's a tool. You can use it to destroy certain past beliefs that may be destructive, but then you can't just stay in nihilism forever.
Yeah, no, I kind of go back and forth between idealism and nihilism, but like as for morality, like yeah, I can't really see. Yes, I agree with what you said. You used the words that I would agree with. Like objective morality is useful. I mean, as an idea, but it's not actually real. I mean, it's not like there is objective morality. But
do you think might makes right? Does that statement appeal to you?
It doesn't appeal to me, but I mean, it's how most of the world.
That's what you're saying. If you're completely subjective, you believe it might makes right.
Well, yeah, I'm saying that that's pretty much how the world works. Yeah, and there's no real way around that with morality.
It's not how the world works though, because even though the mother had complete control over the situation and could kill her own children in the bathtub, and maybe she gets away with it, maybe everyone supports it, it's still not right.
What? How do you know? Just because you feel that it's not right.
I believe in objective morality.
Yeah, but the only way you would know that is just because you feel that it's not right.
I need someone like Andrew to help me out here, because I'm not the greatest philosopher.
So here's the thing. Please explain to me how you know that your subjective feeling is in any way superior to the objective evidence that demonstrates what should and should not be done and what should not be thought and what should be thought. Why is your subjective experience in any facet, in any way, anyhow, superior to the objective evidence? That's the question.
What's the objective evidence that drowning a child is morally wrong?
Okay,
we'll go with the extreme example.
Because it's the result of psychological trauma on the mother's part. She has a psychological problem, and that's why she's doing it. Therefore, she does not have control of her actions. There's no such thing as moral or immoral, but a normal person wouldn't drown their baby. It's somebody who's cognitively hurt. So there's objective things to look at that we can understand to understand people's behavior. So that's any of the subjective stuff, you know.
Well, but what you just said, like, there's no. Oh man, like there's what you just said. It sounds like just a different version of might makes right. Like it's normal. It's not normal for people to drown their children. Therefore, it's wrong.
No, that's not true. It's literally there's the objective evidence. If we were to look at her brain, we would see a psychological problem. That's why she did it.
Well,
and so there's objective reason for her actions. So I'm saying like it has to do with the brain.
Sure, like we could see, we could possibly see a correlation between something happening in her brain and her actions. But again, you say problem, but I mean we define what are psychological problems and what aren't. Like there are differences, there are psychological differences between people, but I mean we have to define according to our values. The whole DSM, the whole Diagnostics and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. That's people had to write that and come up with all these disorders, and it's according to our values. Like it's totally up to what we think is normal and not normal, what we think is okay.
I think that's too generalized. You have to put some value in the objective evidence that we collected through studying the human mind. I mean, you have to give that credence. I really think it has to be given credence that we have looked at the human mind, we understand it, we know why people do things, we know why people feel things. And so when people say, I have this feeling or this subjective sensation or something like that that makes me feel this way, well, a psychologist can look at that and understand it. So so I'm saying is,
I'm not rejecting that. I'm just, but the values attached to that evidence is always what I question. Is like whether, I mean, how do we know that? How do we know that? I mean, just take some random disorder like schizophrenia. How do we know that schizophrenia is like wrong? I mean, like I don't know. It might be abnormal. Like only 1% of the 1% of the population has it.
You seem to be playing it from both sides in a way. You seem to be playing it from both sides because you're saying stuff like, you shouldn't make a value judgment about this. I mean, I know you're not saying the person should be arrested or anything like that, but you're saying you shouldn't make a definite moral judgment. You should say, yes, they get arrested, but no, let's not say it's immoral. But then at the same time, you're kind of saying, oh, it's wrong to value certain people over other people. Why would you say that, but then go to the extreme of saying, let's not talk about absolute morality as to this person?
Well, I mean, it's hard with the language to make it sound like I'm to not make it sound like I'm being objective. But I should say I think or I feel that it is wrong to attach values. So
you need a gooey pot brownie. You need to go down to your dispensary and you need to get one of those gooey pot brownies, man.
Need
and
this.
you need to eat that. And you will find what you have been looking for, dude. You will find it.
I was going to
kidnap David
if you have lots of drugs, because he really does need it.
Hey, I'm all for it.
He will get what he's looking for.
I'm just saying, I feel like it would throw me even further into this subjective.
I was going to show David might makes right personally in his own life.
What were you gonna say? Were you gonna? Oh, never mind. See what you're saying.
No, I was just saying, David. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure you out. But if I were you, be careful with denialism.
Oh yeah. If you need help with that stuff, you can talk to me because I'm so objective. I'll give you. I'll come up with some kind of an explanation.
I'll tell you the truth. I don't have all the answers. I ask the questions you ask too, David. But sometimes I just choose to have some objective reality just as a tool because I think it's not good for you to say everything is subjective to the extent that you're trying to do in your own head.
It's too much of a burden because then you have to carry everything in your mind instead of carrying your actual reality with you. So it's too much pressure on your brain. You know, you have to be careful because then you're like, okay, subjective. It's like no, just the objective.
Not like
you run the risk.
It doesn't
you
take
run the risk of being an obvious hypocrite, is what it is. That's why you need to have some objective standards and just go with it.
I disagree, but whatever. I get what y'all are saying. It doesn't burden me though. It's not like something that's like, oh, every day, like every minute I have to keep reminding myself that everything's subjective. It just comes naturally. That's just where my head's at right now. So
I agree. You should be examining things. I'm not saying not to examine things.
Yeah. Well, then how do you explain? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were to try like some kind of mild psychedelic or something, you would find out that I'm taking this objective thing and having an incredible subjective experience. So then the subjective is connected to the objective. Do you see what I'm saying? The objective stimulates the subjective, making the objective valuable in itself and the origin of the subjective.
Okay. I see what you're saying, and I don't necessarily deny that there is some kind of objective reality, like physical reality, but it's all this value stuff. That's where I really get like, okay, like this is totally just us. This is just opinions, and I mean we can recognize that or not. I don't even know if it's if it's desirable for like everybody to recognize that morality is subjective, because if everybody knew that, then it would possibly be a more chaotic world. But I'm just saying that I don't think it is, or that I think that morality is subjective. So I'm not saying it's a useful idea. It's just what I
you need
believe.
to read. Maybe you should read Nietzsche. Maybe he needs some Nietzsche. I don't know.
I feel like I've like skimmed one of his books, but I didn't get into it. But I mean, I know who he is.
It's been a while since I've read Nietzsche, but it's entertaining stuff.
Yeah. He's a nihilist, though. I mean, wouldn't
No,
that
he's not. He's not.
throw me further
He
into...
actually isn't a nihilist. When he says God is dead, he didn't mean what a lot of people thought he did, actually.
Yeah, I know that.
He was worried. He was really trying to find a way to calm the people's spirits after finding out the great celestial man in the sky isn't there.
Yeah, but he was all for like the Superman, the guy that's like the man going his own way. That's.
Oh yeah, well. Anyway, that was abused by the Nazis.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it can be abused. Yeah, totally. That doesn't mean that it's not true, though.
Oh yeah, no, I love Nietzsche, so.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's go to a different topic. So,
sure.
So something I've been thinking about this week is how I'm noticing that internet communities are beginning to replace normal everyday life communities because online people can find people that are just like them. And if I can hang out with a bunch of people like me, why would I even consider going out and finding people when everybody that I can find in the real world is not as genuine and not as awesome as the people that I can find online. And so I think in the future we're moving towards a paradigm where we choose our own communities and the people we want to be in our communities through the continued connection that we begin to grow with each other, and with technology and things like this moving towards the future, I think we will choose our own communities.
Genius.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
With virtual reality, it would definitely probably make the shift, but we don't really have virtual reality, so there's still a lot of
It's coming. They have goggles now.
Yeah.
a lot of value from in-person contact, but it's certainly a cool
guys.
organizing.
Google Minus breaks everything it touches.
What does?
I am using headphones now, as some people in the chat said I was giving feedback.
Yeah.
Do we have a chat? I should be looking at it, I guess.
Yeah, it said I was causing feedback, so I'm using headphones now, but now it's crashed or something? Can't see anyone on the chat.
Oh. No, it's still working.
But no messages at all. Can all of you see messages?
Okay, so anyway...
What were you saying about Midas, John?
Yeah, Google Minus breaks everything it touches.
Yeah. Oh, Google. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys want to comment on...
Definitely not Google Plus.
I think I can sort of feel that, but I still feel like my online interactions with people aren't as... I mean, they're different. They just don't seem as fulfilling yet as real-life interactions.
True.
But only by a little bit. I mean, there's not much of a difference, but it still feels a little bit less...
Right.
A little bit colder, a little bit more impersonal.
But what I'm saying is this is the beginning, and then later on it's going to change. I think this is what we want as people. We want to just be around people like us. And I think we're going to move towards that paradigm if we can keep the freedom that we have, whatever little freedom we have, and we continue working on technology and things like that.
3D video chat.
Yeah.
I mean, as for MGTOW, I think MGTOW you have to be online to be a MGTOW. If you're just a man going his own way, a bachelor, not married, but you have nothing to do with the message boards or the YouTube or any of that, you're technically not a MGTOW. You're just a bachelor doing what people have done. A rare few people have done all throughout history, but
they don't have any MGTOW conferences or meetups or anything like that. Like physical, real meetups?
Even if they did, though, it would be arranged through the internet.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I'm just adding that the internet is... You can't be a MGTOW, really, unless you're on the message boards or on the YouTube or something like that. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. People have tried to do some, but we'll see. Community's growing, stuff like that, right?
I did meet someone who was MGTOW, one of my subscribers, in person. It was a risky thing to do, but it turned out good. I like the guy. He's a cool guy.
Is it risky though? I mean, I'm not afraid of people, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, in my mind, it was kind of risky. Subscriber. I don't know why. I saw him on video chat first. He seemed like a good guy.
Okay. Like, I'm not really. That's one thing about me. I'm not really afraid or worried about people knowing me. I mean, who's gonna do something to me? Whatever. I mean, and if you do, I'll just survive. I'm a survivor. Whatever. You know.
I don't know though. It's
They'll take forest.
What's that?
They'll take you into a forest.
And give me mushrooms.
Creeps like XPal. Yeah.
And they'll give me mushrooms. Yay! Yes. Forest mushrooms.
I'm surprised that David Weston is so open with showing who he is on the internet, because if he's a teacher and stuff, like I would just have fears that the principals would come up to me and they'd be like, "You're saying inappropriate stuff on the internet." Like, I can't get past that.
I don't think he really does, but they could do that to him, I guess. I mean, if you want, you could starting now, become one of us and take down your old videos. You'd probably be upset about that, and then just be a masked, an avatar on the internet.
No, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not super afraid about that, because I mean, I'm not like working for a school right now. Like, I'm, subbing, but that's not much of what I'm doing. I mean, I have a job at a tutoring company.
He needs to live by his virtues. That's why he's.
To tell you the truth, I don't think David says anything too offensive like I do. People see my face all the time, so it's not so much that I'm afraid of showing my face, because I go out in the public, I say all these things, people who know me know I think these things. A lot of it is I don't want to leave myself open for the random internet trolls to like start the website with my real name and be like, this guy is this guy is that. So I'm trying to like avoid the internet trolls is basically what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand, like Andrew, like why you're not a little bit more
light and glory go hand in hand.
Because like anybody, if they do know you and where you live and all that stuff, I mean, you can, because the internet's so big, I think that's the only reason people are more cautious on the internet, just because it's like, when you're in a small, like just a regular community and everybody knows you and where you live, I mean, you know the other people, so there's not...
Yeah, well, I have a gun, so...
Well, I guess you can defend yourself. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I don't know. I still feel like cautious about it, just because like anybody could.
Andrew and you are both good-looking guys. This is like half your subscriber base is just looking at your faces.
No.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe me and David are just like humble or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't trust lots of people, so I'm still going to be a little cautious about my identity on the internet. Even though I'm sure, like if someone was really determined, they could figure out like everything about me. But
you know what though? Okay. Let me put it like this: I ride the bus to work, and I meet the scariest people that you could ever imagine. I sit right next to them, and I become their friend every time.
Yeah.
So if somebody is having a problem, and they have a problem with me, and I'm doing something that makes them upset and is causing them to be unhappy, come to me and I will give you a hug and I will help you. I will make you feel better. I don't want anybody to be upset at me, and that's true. And so if anybody wants to mess with me, just let me be your friend. I want to be your friend. It's okay to disagree. It's okay. And you know what? We're going to be different, but that's okay. We can still be friends. We can still have fun. And that's that. And so why do I need to be afraid when I welcome everyone, no matter who they are, no matter what they look like, no matter how they smell, as my friend?
Do you think that works? That's okay. This is a broader question based on that.
David, just a heads up. I smell pretty bad.
Nice. I'll probably smell you before I see you then. That'll be my warning sign. He's coming.
I love people and their brains, and I was hurt as a kid. I was abused as a kid, so I get it. I have my eye issue, so I feel pain all the time, so I get it. When I see people, I'm like, oh, this guy, they're feeling pain. And I go over to them, and I make them feel better. And I tell them, man, I get it. I've had this pain, too. I've had bad things happen to me. It sucks, but we got to hang in there, man. We got to kick ass. You can do it,
Yeah, I want to feel that way. I want to feel that way about people. But, I mean, do you think everyone would welcome that? And
yeah, they do. They do every time. Scariest fucking people you ever meet. They're always like, oh, wow, okay. I get a lot of God bless yous, which, I just take. you know.
David
like,
is about
thanks.
to go out into the community and begin filming his own, his own man
If I
on
had
the
a
street
camera, I would.
conversations.
I need a camera, and I'll start doing the same thing X-Pal's doing. You
Yeah.
know? I'll go out and I'll start talking to people and record it and stuff.
I want to do it. I mean, I'm not going to make any promises, but I want to do it. I went out today and tested my my little camera glasses out, and they worked pretty well. So I don't know.
See any targets to conversate with?
No, I was in the woods, so
That's pretty good.
yeah.
That would have been a good conversation if you found anyone.
Found someone in the woods.
Yeah, that would be great. A stranger in the woods. Hey there.
I found people in the woods before. You never run into someone there? I mean,
No,
you're
I
not going
do
that deep.
every once in a while. I just didn't see anybody today, but yeah, it could happen. Yeah, if I do it, I will go to a public place, though. I think I heard about this. This is what I think I finally came up with an idea for what I'm going to do. Because I heard about this thing called rejection therapy, and since that's pretty much the main reason why I'm afraid of other people is just getting rejected. But this dude just came up with it. I'm sure he's not the first one.
You can do it yourself. You can just put yourself in situations where you're really uncomfortable and force yourself to do it, and you'll just get used to it.
No, that's what he does. Yeah. He goes out and he just asks people for unreasonable requests, like, hey, I need a ride to, wherever. Can you do that? And they're like, no. And he's like, okay. Or like, he hands out, I don't know, he just asks people for, random to do things for him, and of course they're going to say no because they don't know him. So I don't know. I'm going to do something.
People often say yes.
What?
Some people would say yes.
A lot of people say yes.
Exactly. Like that's what I'll make it so that it's probably something that they're not going to say yes to.
I mean, I've been given a ride by a stranger before, and let's see.
Yeah.
Pretty much a lot of things. I mean, I had a girl say Logic only, the Logic only zone, Logic Church every Sunday. I mean, that's kind of an imposition.
Yeah, I'll think of some stuff that's like unreasonable requests from people. I also another idea I thought is to go out and ask people to insult me, like ask them to
do it. Do it though.
Like, hey,
I don't know. I think this is bad for you. This sounds bad. Yeah.
No, I know it sounds like it, but it's like if I can get over that.
I'll tell you the truth. Why not ask them to punch you? Go up to like a pretty girl and ask her to punch you. I think that is less mentally scarring for both the person and you. Like, she might actually enjoy that. You might actually enjoy that. But if you ask someone to insult you, that might be hard on both of you.
I know, but that's the whole thing, is like creating this super uncomfortable situation where even if they do it, then that's great, and if they don't, then I'm getting rejected. So it's like it's a win-win. Like no matter what happens.
Ask them out. Ask a pretty girl out on a date on camera.
Maybe one day, but that's even scarier than asking someone to insult me.
You know what? I don't have any problem talking to women. I will talk up to. I'll just walk up to any woman and I'll talk to them. I'll say something funny, or I'll say something witty, or I'll be clever, and they'll immediately just, okay, let's talk. So there's nothing to be afraid of. You just have to know how to approach people. I think that's what people always feel like. Oh, people. You know. They just have a lot of people have bad experiences with people, and so they don't understand. All people want is to smile. They want to be happy. They want to feel good. So go in, make them feel good, make them happy, and then everybody's good. And that's what I tell everybody. Some people that have social anxiety need to know that.
Yeah.
How come we don't make you shy?
What?
Because this is the internet, and I could just close the computer whenever I want.
You can just walk away whenever you want in real life.
I guess technically, that is another big fear. I guess is like I don't like getting stuck with people and like people imposing. Like having to tell people like, okay, I don't want to be around you anymore. Like I hate doing that. I hate rejecting other people, and I hate being rejected. So it's like that is another thing I think that stops me from, like, for instance, like what you just said, like just asking a girl on a date. Well, then I'd be like, oh crap, now I have to go like on a date, and I gotta do all this stuff, and I gotta get ready, like I gotta do all this, So then you
can show up as is. You don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
And guess what? You get to plan the date, so it can be a walk in the woods, and she can be too freaked out to do it, or she can go do it.
That's true.
And girls like guys who are focused on their business.
Yeah.
Like girls don't want a guy who's giving them all their attention all the time. That drives women crazy.
You like taking walks in the woods? You take a girl on a walk in the woods.
Would anybody want to do that with a complete stranger, though? I don't think
a lot of girls, yes.
If you think it's weird, it's weird. If you don't think it's weird, it's not weird.
A lot of girls have been attacked by guys who take them on walks in the woods, but they'll still go anyways.
Whatever. Hey,
especially if you're David.
Maybe
the inner masochist.
They will go on walks in the woods. I mean, Haley is pretty drawn to that walk in the woods idea.
You think she's really into that? She's gonna do it?
I know she is. She wants to go on a walk in the woods. Who takes girls on walks in the woods except guys like us?
Yeah, that's true.
Creepy guys, creepy internet guys like us.
Yeah, but it's about the nature, man. It's about nature.
No, they're waiting for it.
Yeah, I love nature.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I'm bad at like thinking of ideas too. I would be like, well, do you want to like? I don't know. I'm just super insecure in that area. I just need to get over it. I just need to get over it and do it.
I gave you the walk in the woods idea because that's something you like to do. So that's why I said it.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see movies. That'd be another easy thing. That'd be like, hey, let's go see a movie.
You could show her your videos or like the books that you like to read. And be like, I like thinking about this stuff. It would be so cool if you want to look at one of my books. I know it's kind of silly, oh, here I am handing a book to a girl. It's all super philosophy. There aren't many philosophers who get girlfriends. Be funny, be clever, like show yourself, but be ready to make fun of yourself. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
Like
I can do that. Yeah, I just need to like loosen up.
At what point can I consider myself a philosopher? I feel like I'm in the beginning phases.
Yeah, you are. You're a philosopher, pal.
Yeah, I think you are, pal.
You can't help it.
You're a thinker. Yeah.
You hear that, Midnight? I did it. I mean, Minden.
Mind Night.
Nobody
gets his name right. It's Mind Night Life.
Mind Light.
Mind
blah,
Night
blah.
Life.
All right, Mind Night Life. There we go.
Yeah, for my whole life I was intimidated by philosophy and I didn't understand it, and then I just saw people like Stefan Molyneux calling himself a philosopher, and I was like, oh, well, he doesn't.
Oh, I can just call myself a philosopher.
Yeah.
I think about things. I have ideas.
Hey, I do that too.
Stefan actually is kind of an inspiration for me starting to call myself a philosopher wannabe or a philosopher.
Really? Oh, man. Yeah.
I just figure why not,
Also,
I can know what Plato does.
Full Metal Alchemist and the Philosopher's Stone.
There you go.
So, Logic Only Zone, you said that you've never seen anything before with psychedelics, so it sounds like you've never had like a hardcore ego death trip. So, I don't know, I'm just really confused by how you can come to all these sort of conclusions about psychedelics, but you haven't even...
It's really strong. If you've ever taken it, just taking like a little bit will just, boom, blow you away.
What are you talking about?
Like, the chemical is very powerful, so like, to get to the hallucinations, you have to take a shit ton, but then that's like a lot. And so, like, you have to have a lot, That's what I'm saying. So I've taken a fair amount, but...
Of what?
Psilocybin, stuff like that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've never hallucinated.
Yeah.
Neither have I, but I've had ego death.
Can you describe yours, Mind Night Life?
It was pretty similar to the way the Logic Only Zone was describing it, but at the same time, it's really hard to describe. I'm definitely going to have trouble describing it, but I basically got to a point where I realized that everything was a copy of itself, and I just saw like fractals. I don't really know how to explain it, but I just felt like the whole world, its purpose is just to copy, and everything is just copying.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it also improves itself over time.
I don't know.
Yes, interesting.
Logic Only Zone. What do you think about? This makes me think about the whole theory that that we're in a simulation, that the universe is a simulation. I'm blanking on the dude's name. Oh, Tom Campbell. He's this dude on YouTube, makes a bunch of videos. He's got a beard. He looks smart. People like him. But he talks. That's his big theory, is that he uses physics and quantum physics and brings it all together somehow. But that the universe is, he makes it all sound all fancy and stuff. But I mean, it's sort of convincing to me, at least. Like that life the universe could be some kind of simulation, some kind of like probability simulation. He talks about probabilities a lot.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know what that has to do with my life, though.
Yeah,
You know
like
what I mean?
does that?
So,
How does
I
that?
don't care, you know.
Yeah. Like
You see what I mean? Like what do I do with that, though?
Yeah.
You know? What kind of a job am I gonna have?
That is exactly
you know,
the way I think. Like I would look at that and be like, okay, this is interesting, but then at the end of the day, I'd be like, what can I do with this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where do I put it? How do I? You know what I mean? Where do we go?
Put it in there. Yeah.
So what can you do with that, David? What did it make you think?
I mean,
I have a jump to conclusion what I think you wanted to do with it. I think it brought you closer to nihilism. You're like, what's the point? Everything's subjective.
Yeah, and you
I'm
have
going
to be
to be more nihilistic.
It's sort of. I mean, it relaxes me. It just makes me think like, well, oh, okay, I'm just this little pixel. I'm just like this simulation. I'm like the person in the sim game. Like, yeah. My life isn't like important or anything, so I don't have to worry about.
But
making
do you
it
want it to be? Do you want it to be important, or do you not? This is really a situation of being honest about yourself. Know thyself. Do you want to do more than play a video game all day, or do you just want to play a video game all day? And if you do, it's okay. If you don't, that's okay. But it's more. The more important thing is what you are and knowing who you are. That is the most important thing, and psychology does that objectively, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Clinton.
Yes. I don't know. Like I don't know what I want. I don't know whether.
So you need so maybe you need a little philosophy, and then you can.
A little philosophy. Yeah. I just. I don't even know.
I have my own problems, David. I'm not like some perfect angel man who's living the great life.
I know.
I just want to let you know that.
Yes.
Perfect angel man.
A little more confidence in certain areas compared to you. You do better than me in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
This book you wrote, I don't have a book written.
Yeah, that's true.
You wrote a nice book.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Feel good about what you're good at. Build your strengths. Be strong.
Yeah, I am.
We're top of the food chain, man. Top of the food chain, bro.
It's lonely.
I want to write a book. That's great that you wrote one.
Yeah. I know. I'm proud of it.
It's a big deal.
I am proud of it.
It's a very big deal.
I just put myself. I'm constantly like zooming in and zooming out. Like I'm important. I'm not important at all. So
that's your inner mom and dad speaking to you. You're important. You're not important.
Yeah, and it just goes back and forth. I don't know who to believe.
It's because your left side of your head. So when you cut the brain in half, both halves function on their own. I've said this before.
Yeah.
One side is capable of disagreeing with the other side. So really, what your problem is objectively, one side of your brain is arguing with the other one about the validity of some sort of idea, a set of ideas, and you have to figure out what it is and come to deal with it basically and get them to agree. You need to agree with this side of the brain. Stop playing games with me. I'm trying to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so funny though. But yeah, seriously, I
usually try to just silence the voices when that happens. I don't even try to solve the argument. I'm just like, be quiet. I'm gonna go meditate or something.
Yeah.
You be quiet.
Yeah, it's like, shut up.
Yeah.
What you did with the dropping out of the master's program was incredible too. By the way, a lot of people wouldn't have the courage to do that. That was really great that you did that because you did play the chess game. You saw the future. And it was just going to waste some of your time and maybe money too. I'm not sure, but just time and money. And it wasn't necessarily a career you were going to want to go into, and you saw that.
Yeah, I guess I'm proud of that too. I just hate like complimenting myself. I just don't like doing that. But yeah.
Well, I'm doing it for you.
Well, okay, thanks. Makes it easier.
Yeah, you did a good job, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, and I'm in those ways looking to be like you.
Yeah.
I'm looking to write a book, and I'm looking to also not do things that just to do them, because I'm looking to get out of the flow, and that's what you did. You took yourself out of the flow.
Out of the flow, yeah. Well, I am looking to be more comfortable talking to people, so that's why. Did I put you in my? I don't know. I forget if I like put you in my little sidebar on my YouTube channel.
I might be. I'm not sure. I haven't checked, but
people that inspire me, I'm gonna put you in there since
that's
we're talking. You reminded me of that right now. Yeah. Yeah, I need to get out there more. That's
I think it's probably a skill. It's probably a skill.
Oh, it totally
the more
is.
you practice, the better you'll get.
Yeah, yeah. I just need to think of a way to start, a good way to start practicing.
Okay, let me share a story with you, David. This is really going to help you. So I'm on the bus, and this guy, his eyes, one eye is looking left, the eye's looking right. His eyes are all messed up. Okay. Scary ass looking old guy. Scariest motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire life. And he looks over at me. I'm sitting right next to him. He looks over at me, and he says, "Have you ever gotten on the wrong bus before?" And I look at him right square in the eyes. I should probably turn the camera back on. So I stare at him right square in the eyes, and I say, "You know what? No, I don't think I've ever been on the wrong bus before."
Ooh.
And I was thinking, like, oh, I hope this guy's not about to go on a homicidal rampage. But you know, and so I said it in a way like, no, I'm going to assert to you that you're not going on a homicidal rampage. And then I gave him a compliment.
Yeah.
He looked like he could use one.
What'd you say? Nice eyes?
I told him that he had a really cool beard. And I'm like, oh, man, your beard, it is so cool.
That's awesome.
You know, and like, oh, man, your hat. And then he takes his hat off. And he has this huge bump on his head that's covering up his hat. And he has this wicked tattoo that he tattooed over this huge bump that's right there on his head. He got hit in his head. That's why his eyes are all messed up and everything.
Oh.
Normally, like, can you imagine? People would be scared out of their minds.
Oh,
but I'm just sitting right there, and I'm just comforting this guy, making him feel better, because I see past that. And, you know, something that stops us is the way that people actually look. The way anyone looks means nothing at all. And, you know, everybody's just a person inside. And if you just reach in and touch that, then anybody will be your friend. No matter how scary they are, or no matter how cognitively messed up they are, everyone just wants to be treated kindly.
Yeah. No, I
really
like
think so.
that. I like that line of thinking. And I do try to, like, look past people's appearances, because I know I was so self-conscious for so long. It's just, like, such a waste of energy. So I don't want to, like, ever encourage that.
You're a good-looking guy, David.
Yeah, David. People feel really comfortable looking at you. So
I'm an artist.
That's funny.
I'm an artist as well as a philosopher, so you have some good aesthetics.
Yeah.
You're fine, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when I was a teenager and stuff, you know, I was very extremely self-conscious. You know, I had, like, acne and stuff, and I was in that awkward teenage years, and so yeah,
David, you're so hard on yourself. Why are you so hard? You're like, oh, awkward teenage years. It's like, you know,
I was though. I was super awkward.
I was hard on myself too as a teenager. I can relate, David.
Yes.
Yeah. So was I, but you know, you should. You know what I mean?
Maybe not as hard as you are, David.
Just loosen up.
But
loosen up, loosey goosey.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's another idea that I had, was to go out and just give people random compliments, because that's hard for me to do. Is just to kind of.
No, don't do it. Don't just give them compliments. Do it in a way that you actually make them feel good. Like,
yeah, don't make it too random. Be like
personal.
No, like, they would be genuine. They would be genuine compliments.
No, it's not. Okay, when you're okay. It's an art form. Like, if you want to understand how communication works, you have to get into a conversation with them, talk to them, and make it feel like it's a genuine conversation between two people. Then you can give compliments and it means something. Otherwise, you're just like kissing their ass rather than like comforting their soul.
But how do you start the genuine conversation? That's my problem.
You got to be witty and clever. You have to show concern for them. It's an art form of loving the human mind, and understanding how people feel and catering to those feelings to improve their life.
Okay, Are you going anywhere today, David?
Today?
You need to buy something at the store or something.
I wasn't planning on it, but I mean, I could. I'm thinking.
Is there anything you need?
Tomorrow.
Are you low on food?
No, I just went to the grocery store and got groceries this morning. But no, tomorrow, I'm probably going to go out and do something before work. But yeah, I don't know.
What's your opportunity?
Yeah, I need to find a. I don't know. Okay.
Here's another one for you, David. I was at the grocery store yesterday, and a couple of people were standing in front of the coffee bean not the coffee bean dispensers, and there's a shit ton of them. So, and there's all kinds, and they all have different names, and they all have different textures, and blah, 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 blah. And they're all staring at them, and they can't figure out what to get. And so I just walk over to them, and I say, okay, you guys, I know what your problem is. You're looking at all of those crazy names and you're like, what the heck? What kind of coffee am I going to buy? But this is the trick. Just ignore all of those names. That's just a bunch of fancy schmancy garbage. Ignore that stuff, and then you need to pay attention to the strength, right? So if you want yourself a crazy heavy coffee, you got to go for this one. If you want something light, something a little toasty maybe, this is what you're talking about. This is what you need. But me, I'm a bit of a ladies' man, if you will, or something like crazy, something funny, you know, I don't know, and just be like, so I'm going for the donut shop. And it's like, oh, it's the funniest donut shop. I'm going for the donut shop.
I'm so afraid of bothering people. That's the thing. Like I don't want
to bother them. They want you to so bad.
Here's what I did. I was doing my top 20 countdown, and I saw like a church girl.
Okay.
So I went up to her and had her read about female demonic nature.
That's funny.
It just tickled me.
Yeah.
To have a girl who's like a church girl read about female demonic nature. Who Gregory Becker made a video about that.
That's funny.
And that's just how you gotta think. Like you gotta go in your own head. You wrote a whole book. You must have conversations in your head. Just go over there and have a conversation out loud.
Just talk to myself. You know, hope the other person joins in.
No, eventually. I mean you do your half of the conversation. Let them fill in their half.
Yeah. Y'all are encouraging me. This is good. I'm getting all pumped up. Like I'm gonna.
The first thing you have to understand is you hear people talking like the only thing to fear is fear itself. Well, I mean, you know, that's the stupidest thing ever. But really, you're just like there is literally nothing to fear, just essentially in itself. Like we live in a society where nobody can hurt anyone, and everybody is tired, and so everybody just needs a little bit of a bit of love or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is give a little bit, and everybody's happy.
Give a little bit.
It's just a little bit.
You got a good voice, David.
My love for you.
Exactly.
Just joking.
All right. Anyways, David, you've done this. I've seen you do this before. You said, "Well, I feel worse doing this or not doing this." You could use that one to push yourself.
Yeah.
And then also ask yourself what's the worst that can happen, and pretty much is gonna be the worst that can happen is nothing.
Nothing bad will ever happen.
I think about that all the time. Yeah, I think about that all the time. It's like, I mean, the worst that can happen is I end up, I mean, like, you know, like if I try to like ask a girl out or something or find friends or whatever, like the worst that can happen is I end up right where I am right now, you know. So it's like.
Realistically, the worst that could happen is that you turn on yourself for some reason. It's not going to be that they do anything crazy. It's that you somehow, like, oh my God, that conversation went horrible. Let me go home and just beat myself up.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay,
That's probably the realistically worst that can happen is that you hurt yourself.
David, have you ever done something for the first time before?
Yes, I have.
And do you remember how bad you were?
Yep.
Okay, that's how everything is.
Yeah, I know.
And every time you do something new, you're going to be ashamed that you're not the best at it. But you have to keep doing it, and then you just get good.
Yep.
That's just how it works.
On the grand scheme of things, you know what? This isn't that big of a problem because you're doing really good in all the other areas of your life. You got your own place, making money.
Yeah.
Writing a book.
Yeah. Just the social aspect is always. Yeah, it's the social aspect has always been my weak
You're
weak
doing
side.
very good.
My weak, you know, I just need to work on that more. That's the part.
Yeah, David, you're a catch. You're a catch, man.
I mean, if anything, blame your intelligence as kind of a limiting factor in your social, because when you're really smart, you have to learn how to speak down to people in a way that doesn't make you look retarded.
Yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work.
That's funny. Yeah.
Because they're going to think you're stupid if you speak down too much to them, but they're going to think you're stupid if you're yourself sometimes, if the person's not intelligent.
That's why I do the kindness, and then later on I can talk about ideas. So you focus on just being friends with people, and then if you want to talk about anything else, you just wait, you know, until they trust you to like pay attention, you know. Yeah, that's definitely something that I found. Like the things we talk about, this is not something you can do. You can't talk to people like that. People are too tired. They just don't have the time. They don't have the energy.
Mental energy.
Yeah, they're hurt. They have kids, and oh my gosh, kids is the worst. I mean, kids, they'll tear you apart. And I work with kids, so I know they'll tear you apart.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have to be really empathetic to these people, knowing like people who are bad, they're just really hurt people. And so you gotta help them out. They never had anybody give them a hug. They never had anybody say something nice to them. And so if you approach it like that, and make sure you have that empathy, and I know you do have that empathy, then you're gonna be really great. You're gonna have a great social life.
Need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Find some time. Get out there.
Yeah.
All right. This is good.
Not that I'm like. Here's the thing, though. I like making people feel good, but I don't want to be everybody. I don't want to be everyone's friend that I meet, but I want them to feel like they have a friend.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to just be cool to people just to be good, because the world needs it. World needs people being nice to each other, and so that'll also give you an opportunity to practice your communication for when you meet people that you really want to get close to. And so you should get in a habit of really being like that with everyone. Yeah,
that's I agree.
Yeah.
Lots of things to think about. I kind of want to stop talking about myself now, though.
Okay. I got more topics. Let's continue.
All right, continue down the list.
Okay, have you guys ever heard of the Internet of Things?
Yes, that's when you connect like household objects and things like that to the internet, and you automate things.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the opposite of what I just discussed, how we can choose our own communities. I think that the interconnection of everything can be used in an opposite way as well, to instead of giving people absolute freedom to control their lives and connect with people like them, to completely limit us and stop us from ever having individuality or individual human freedom ever again, because it's the ultimate form of fascism and totalitarianism.
How do you see that?
Because they'll use technology like cameras and things like this, everything will be detected, all margins will be had, everything will be observed, and nobody will be able to escape from people being observed. And so it could
I see that threat, but I actually see all this technology as creating more individualism. But I do see the threat that you're talking about.
So I see that too. So I'm thinking of it positively, but I also see this alternative, and I see the government pushing it. I've seen people speaking about it, and so it's like, whoa,
Yeah, like slow down.
Yeah, because they're speaking of it like it's a positive thing. It's like, whoa, I don't think so.
Well, I've never actually heard the term Internet of Things, but I've heard that there's going to have vending machines basically that are hooked up to the internet, that when you walk up to them, they recognize your face, they can read your cell phone and like read through your text messages, and they can like figure out like what you want to buy there, if you have like what your medical history is, like if they can like somehow detect if you have like maybe diabetes, should you get this snack or that snack. I've heard that this is already out, maybe being put out maybe in England, I believe, like these smart vending machines. So I don't know if that applies to the Internet of Things that you're talking about.
Essentially, yeah, it's everything in all technology that can be used to do that thing, where we don't have any privacy anymore. And you hear like people like Joe Rogan talking about this, how he believes that in the future we're going to lose all of our privacy and everything is going to be interwoven and connected in our lives to the point where we don't have freedom or privacy at all anymore.
It's a real double-edged sword. I mean, you can imagine a house in the future where the fridge and everything has a camera in it, where it looks at your face, it can talk to you, it can see you, it can figure out what's in the fridge and maybe order through Amazon. A little drone comes up with the milk or whatever you need. It's a good thing. It's also, I guess, it is a loss of privacy, but it's also very convenient. We're already at a stage where you can get cereal delivered to your door by Amazon, and it's going to be cheaper than the cereal. It's like cereal in a box delivered by UPS is somehow cheaper than cereal that you pick up yourself at the store. Like, and that's excluding the gas price and everything. The actual price that you pay online compared to the actual price you pay at the cash register, you're going to get that cereal cheaper from Amazon. And that's strange, considering that they have to deliver it and all that. And with when you go to the supermarket, you're driving yourself there. They're just bringing it there in bulk, and you're just picking up. But somehow you can get cheaper there. So once drone technology gets involved, it would be a very interesting thing to have smart technology in the home, whether it be a phone, a refrigerator, the TV, everything, even the bed, whatever. have it be smart. The bed could flip itself when it's time. All sorts of things, like the pillows fluff themselves. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, but I think it's coming.
Yeah.
With the privacy thing, I mean, yeah, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about that, and I sort of buy his argument a little bit that it's like, what are we afraid of other people finding out about us? So it's like, in the future, if there is no privacy for anybody, then it's like, seems like that might create a better world in a way, because we'll all just be honest with each other because we know that we don't have any privacy.
Yeah,
we certainly need privacy. I think there's ways to keep privacy, but we certainly need privacy because you can't think properly if you don't have privacy.
Yeah, this is true, and that's the thing. I love how nature has this little thing sometimes that combats us. You know, keeps us from overcoming nature and completely destroying everything.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean you can't think properly when you don't have privacy?
I mean, I'll let you ponder it, David. What do you think? What do you think about that? Because I just kind of said it, and I didn't think about it too much, but I can think about it some more. But what do you think about that?
What I was thinking when you said that was, like, when I'm being watched, or like right now when I'm on video, I know that I'm keeping myself from doing. I'm double thinking everything that I'm doing, or double, whatever you call that, and just questioning whether I should say stuff or what I should do stuff. So yeah, I feel a little more tense when I'm being when I know that I'm being watched.
What if you were always that way? What if it was always that way? What if thinking though? What if you knew that the little bugs flying around you in the forest had like some kind of like micro whatever in them, and you knew that if someone chose to at that moment, they could listen into you with those bugs flying in the forest, or those trees had like special like little implants, a little chip in each tree. Some asshole around put a chip in each tree, and now the trees were all like listening. Like, yeah. So you need to combat.
If it was like that all the time, though, maybe I'd get used to it. Maybe it just.
No, what you would have.
Yeah.
You would have a force field, maybe. You would have a chip. You would have a chip on you that you could turn on.
Invisibility.
Kind of like autistic mode.
Where I just don't.
They found a way to get in that.
Yeah, but if everyone was like that, though, if everyone was just as vulnerable as me, then yeah, maybe I wouldn't feel as self-conscious.
No. I mean, think about it. If you never had your privacy, you were always talking with us in this room. We could always hear your thoughts. We could always look at your face whenever you're thinking about something. It wouldn't be. It would greatly affect your thinking ability.
Yeah, I definitely think it would. But what about like kids in the future that grow up with that all the time? I mean, do you think that they would feel any difference if they're being watched?
They would, because it's unhealthy to have to suppress yourself all the time, and that's what they think causes a lot of aggression in people. Suppressing thoughts and things like that.
Yeah, I agree that that's unhealthy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, you know, it would be hard. People would have to be sedated or something to make that happen.
But maybe people would stop suppressing themselves though, if they knew that everyone was.
Maybe. And that would be the way to freedom in that kind of a society, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Stop suppressing.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Like, I want that. That's why I kind of like that idea. It's like, well, if everyone was forced to lose their privacy, maybe I'd be okay with that, because then it's like we can stop pretending. We don't have to put all that energy into hiding things about ourselves. I mean, that would be something.
I was just thinking, a lot of religion is telling people they have zero privacy. I wasn't thinking about that, but that like someone can see the dirt under your nails. That someone can always see you, and someone's always judging every thought you have.
God, yeah, Jesus is watching. Yeah, I don't know.
So, I mean, it's interesting. I think privacy is important, though.
Yeah, you know, it's the basis to the establishment of social power. You know, creation of kings.
Yeah, it would be a problem if there was. It would only be a problem if it was one-sided, and like the people, which it probably would be if it ever happened, that the government, you know, people in the government would be shielded from their privacy being, you know, seen, and everyone else would be vulnerable.
1984 is very much about privacy.
Oh yeah.
1984.
Yeah.
I mean, and we've kind of come to the point where the big reveal at the end that there was a camera in the TV watching him.
Yeah.
That's kind of the world we're coming to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of similarities.
Oh, you mean like Xbox One? How the NSA can tap into your Xbox One?
Yes, Xbox One or our phones that can probably turn on and take pictures nonstop, or
I don't have a phone.
Listen to us.
Yeah, really? I don't have a cell phone. No.
Oh wow.
I don't want anybody to know where I am all the time like that.
So you just use
and I'm not afraid of people, but I don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Yeah, you just don't want to have that pressure all the time.
Yeah,
it's interesting. You're like
I want to get lost. I like getting lost a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Getting lost is fun.
I have a phone, but I will often leave the phone somewhere where I don't bring it with me sometimes.
Yeah.
See, I always have it with me. I never leave it.
I will just leave the phone. Like if I go somewhere, a lot of times I will leave the phone somewhere, and not bring it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's like, you know, you can't wait like a couple hours for me to get home. You can't let me have an evening out. I have to be connected every minute. No.
You can turn your phone off.
That's an illness. That's addiction. If you have to have your cell phone all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
not really. I don't have to have it, but
all right, leave it at home. Next time you go out, see how it feels.
See what happens.
Get away from it for a few hours.
No, I can do that, and I think I have done that recently, at least once, where I've just gone out on a hike or something and left my phone behind. But I mean, I don't. It's like, it's nice to have it, just in case I don't know, bitten by a snake or something, or like broke my arm. I don't know what could happen. So it's like,
hey Brent, how's it going?
You know.
Hey, what's up?
It's Brent.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good.
What's up?
How are you guys doing?
Good. We were just talking about the Internet of Things and 1984 and privacy and stuff like that. So feel free to join in on the great debate.
Brent,
well, I still haven't read that book, but I need to.
Yeah, you do. Do you have a cell phone that you carry around with you all the time? That's what we're talking about.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's have this conversation.
I'm asking Brent.
Oh, yeah. I have a cell phone.
Okay. Are you ever... Wait, where are you from? Where do you... Sorry if that's too private. I mean, you don't have to say, but... Are you in the United States or not? I forget.
No, I'm from Israel.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Like, you're in, like, right now?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I was about to say, like, I mean, their security's probably... I wonder if Israel has, like, an NSA equivalent where they're tapping into people's phones and stuff like that. I don't know. Are you ever, like, paranoid about people tapping into your phone, using the information against you, stuff like that?
Not really, because it just, I don't know, I don't hear it happens, you know?
Yeah, plus, like, it's not like they're going to be looking for Brent. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. But actually, my brother-in-law, his job, he's in the police. He taps into people's phones, but you know, criminals. So.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Very interesting. This is thought crime. Yeah, we're
all criminals here.
Thought criminals.
Yeah.
You're a thought criminal.
I'm gonna wake up in the Ministry of Truth tomorrow.
Oh no.
Gosh.
For reprogramming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Report for reprogramming.
What have I done? What have I done?
For our own good, of course.
Okay, you guys. Do you guys want to move on to the next topic?
Sure.
Okay, so this will be an interesting one. So, human nature capable of freedom. Can human beings without anything, let's say no structures, no culture, no establishment, just human beings, can we handle freedom? Without any controls over anyone, can it be done? And what is everybody's opinion? What are the things that are stopping us from obtaining it? And this kind of a thing. Go!
Humans.
Go ahead, sorry. I'm having too much fun.
Humans being control freak?
Yeah, control-free humans.
Control freaks.
No, control free. No, yeah, that'd be chaos. Like,
you think so? You think that?
Well, yeah, well, if there was like, say, absolutely no rules. I mean, fucking, I'm like a liberal and stuff, but like, so if there's no rules at all, if it's totally anarchy and shit, like, yeah, I don't. It'd be chaos.
Okay, but don't you think what would happen in that situation is natural selection would take its course, and people may have to fight a little bit, and I think that when anything ever begins, it's always a little crazy at first, but I think maybe it's possible that we could handle it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think,
but like most of the population would die out. I mean, like say if what the structure of society or something, like say you don't have to go to work or something, like if you know what I mean. I don't know, it's kind of hard to even imagine what you're saying, but like yeah, it'd be
right.
total chaos, it'd be a world war and shit, and eventually things will work out in some way, but I mean I don't think we're
If
evolved
we,
enough and shit to actually deal with that in a
mhm.
without a massive world disaster first, you know.
But what if we, over time, got people used to it? Over time, change things, gave more freedom over time, and got people used to it. Maybe in that way, people could come to accept it through the process.
After a lot of people die, I guess.
Well, maybe that's why I'm saying slowly, like
Yeah.
slowly getting people used to not having controls over them, like
Yeah.
religion and this kind of thing. And over time, we kind of evolve with it. We get used to the better way, of freedom.
Yeah,
That's
when I was like an anarchist, I sort of believed that. I mean, when I like believed in that stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it would have to be a slow process.
Anybody have an opinion on that one?
yeah, it'd have to be a very slow process. I mean, like, like David, aren't you a libertarian or something? Like, yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
yeah, like, it would just have to be super slow. You're talking about the human race here, and quite, no offense, quite vaguely as well. Like, but it is already, like, say in the Western world, it's not as rigid in a lot of ways as it is in the fucking developed world, and so it is happening, like, just very slowly, Like say, I mean, in Europe and England, like there's less religious restrictions than in the US, for example. Like, I mean, even though they're quite similar overall, but yeah, fucking, it is. Ha. So I've usurped your question, if that makes any sense.
Well,
It is happening. Fuck you.
if possible, Andrew, can you repeat back into the question a little bit? I got a little confused
Yeah.
for some reason.
So is it possible that over time, with getting people used to having more and more freedom and less control over their lives, if people in the end could handle not having any control over them?
Well, here's the thing. With freedom, it can happen very quickly because a lot of people are already ready for freedom. And unlike collectivism, you don't need to get a lot of people involved. Like, for collectivism, you need entire federal government, you need entire USSR, you need a European Union, you need a NATO, you need a, UN. But for freedom, if some people just got together on an island or something and they could be left alone, they could be ready for it.
Yeah.
The trouble is getting left alone. What?
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, the trouble is being left alone from the collectivists, like having that island. Then I think people are ready for it. There's already people ready for freedom. It's just no one will leave them alone.
So why?
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, I'd like to be free, but if I declare my independence, then people aren't going to leave me alone. They're going to force me to be a part of their regime.
Yeah, you're going to be a target at that point. They're going to be like, there's this island,
but
people do whatever they want, and then they're going to sensationalize. They're going to be like, they're giving drugs to children. They're like, you guys give drugs to children.
Yeah.
They eat the flesh of their captives.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, there's women there being held captive and being raped. They're like, no, they want to be here.
Yeah, like, why have the utopias of the past failed, I guess? You have to figure that out first.
Oh, because the Christians, and, for starters,
No, but
this wouldn't be a utopia, by the way.
No, but you know what I mean. Like what's another word for it? Like, there's another word for it, but
for the most part, though,
like
we could have a very great paradise. It's just people stop other people from doing it.
Maybe.
Dude, go to the Amazon. I told you. You can go. There's people living. I don't mean to say it's in an offensive way. There are people living outside of society. Like, they've got their own. They've come up with their own mini structures, or they've never come into the greater society. They're in the Amazon and shit like that, and they've got their own rules. So that's just a smaller society, isn't it? Like, it wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like, each person would still be subject to the others. You know what I mean? Like, they'd still be a little mini collectivism, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're talking about more is maybe more self-ruling, smaller groups like libertarianism speaks about, right?
What if it was like self-rule? Like we promote the idea of individualism, and each person is held to be their own king of their own individual kingdom themselves, and then that's the sovereignty. That's what we use to control. And if people do bad stuff, then they're declaring war with other individuals. Do you see what I'm saying?
How would you settle disputes and stuff like that?
With a gun. You know, I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking. That's all.
Yeah.
Just thinking, guys.
What kind of dispute
well,
are
in
you
the
thinking?
US, yeah, in the US, you fucking your house is that, right? And in the US, you can shoot them, can't you? Like very often, people get away with shooting people, like maybe even a little kid just fucking nicking their wallet or something.
Well, how do you settle a dispute now, David?
What?
How do you settle a dispute now?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Me personally or society?
Both, but yeah.
I mean, me personally, I like to talk it out, and I think if everyone was like me, and obviously the world would be a better place, but like society, like we do it. I mean, it seems like you got to have a third party, and lots of times that's kind of mediate the dispute so that they're not, in it. They can stand outside and look at it from the outside point of view. So I don't know. You could do that, I guess. I know Stefan Molyneux.
Couldn't you certainly do that? Couldn't you certainly do what you just described better under freedom than under the current system?
Maybe. I just don't know. You'd have to have. It's hard to figure out a way. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's hard to find a way to do that without force.
What would the obstacle be in what Andrew's talking about that isn't an obstacle in what you're talking about, David? Like, what's the difference?
Well, I'm just saying, like, how would people in that community, if two people were really angry at each other? I don't know. I'm trying to think
This
of
is a smaller, closer-knit community than what you're talking about in our community, so wouldn't it be more able to be solved in Andrew's community than in your, whatever you're talking about, David? I'm confused.
Maybe so. I mean, how big do you think this would work? And who is breathing into their mic? That's really bothering me.
It's probably, I'm going to guess it's mental health communities, but I have no idea.
Okay. It sounds like...
Stop. If it's me, I'll stop. Okay. It's good for you, David. It's good for you, but I'll stop.
Okay. But...
It's like, whoa, is Jason watching this?
I was going to ask, how big of a community are you picturing, Andrew, like this working in?
Well, I couldn't imagine it.
Choose me. Can I
go ahead, man.
Okay. Okay. So when I take care of kids, and when I have 13 or 14 kids, they'll all listen to me. They'll all behave. They'll all do their best, and they're all courteous and kind. When the other half of the class comes in, the 26 kids, I have no more control over that room.
Yeah.
And so that's how it works. There's a scientific number of people that can be in one place at a time, and we need to apply that to our society. It's true.
No,
when you get too many people, they just have no more control. They become a conglomerate, especially people that can't use their prefrontal cortex yet, kids and some adults.
Yeah, I've observed the exact same thing in classrooms. That is funny. Yeah, it's like around 12 to 14 is like the
something like that.
If it gets up to between 20 and 30, it gets ridiculous. Exactly. I don't know why that is a weird thing though. But have you heard of Dunbar's number? Like the number the social scientists came up with at like 150 or around 150.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Like that's how many people we can really keep in our heads and be personal with. And he thinks that like old hunter-gatherer societies like we used to be, that was basically their limit, was around 150 or less.
So we understand who we are if we look at the evidence, and then we can plan what we do around that objective evidence. That's what I'm saying. So I think freedom could happen if we are true to the truth as much as we can be. It's just a matter of time until people realize that the self is an illusion.
And a lot of freedom is talking about things you can't talk about right now. It's not necessarily everything goes. It could be stuff like that, like arranging things the way they should be arranged, the way you're not allowed to arrange them now.
Yeah, you're not allowed to set up alternate systems.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah,
allowed to
you're
set up
not.
alternate systems.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
You can do
I gotta
that.
keep telling myself, Andrew, you're not allowed to set up an alternate system. Fine, brain. Gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, have you read any Ayn Rand, Andrew?
Oh, you know, I'm not a big fan of her because I don't like capitalism. I'm not a big fan of. I think it exploits people too much,
Okay.
and I just think because I lived in a cooperative and I found that to be the best way to live.
Oh yeah.
Thus far.
But here's the thing I would
So-
say to you, Andrew. Your
Yeah.
cooperative existed in a capitalistic society. Never forget that.
Right.
So it
You're
was
right.
part of
You're right.
capitalism. You weren't getting the cooperative was not getting its items from Soviet Russia and not existing in Soviet Russia.
Yeah.
It was existing within. So you really gotta think about that. So a commune
You're true. That's true. Yeah.
in capitalism and in a free market, people can choose to be in a commune. Because free
Yeah.
markets are just freedom, and capital is just saving wealth. It's just having savings. That's all it is. You get to keep what's
was
yours.
this place?
Yeah.
You said cooperative, like some kind of commune, like.
It's not
most
a
of-
commune. It's what it is you work there at the cooperative. So it's a place where everybody lives together. Everybody has a job that they do, and it makes their rent go down. There will be people who make food. There will be people who do all the jobs. So all you do is that one job that you have. You can always change your job or do something else if you want, but it makes rent so much cheaper. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
I was paying like something ridiculously low. It was like $400 a month or something, and I was getting rent. So it cost me $400, but I got all of my food, and I just worked like something like low, like 6 hours a week or something.
That's
And
great.
so it saved like I was getting paid more than it was around like I think it was $14 or $15 an hour while I was in college, kind of thing. So it's like it gives you part of a job in your community. So people in your community are working together, doing minor work, having cheaper rent, not having to worry about food, having that all taken care of. And so basically it eases all the anxieties we have, makes life way cheaper.
Co-ops
and you know
can
each
run
other.
very poorly though too. It sounds like
This
you
is
were in a
true.
good one,
I
but
was in a
I've
great
seen some
co-op.
bad co-ops.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you say you're working 6 hours? of this one?
Something really low, something where it was like totally worth it to live there. It was years ago, so I don't have the numbers.
Well, realistically, since we are single men, we should be able to work 1 week of the year and make more than enough money to probably support ourselves for well over a year.
How the fuck does that work? By the way, I know someone that recently was in one of those places. He left after a week, like, because he didn't like the work or something. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I don't
Yeah.
understand. It makes no fucking sense to me that 6 hours a week could support that place, you know? Like, the one he went to, there was, like, one staff member, well, there might be two or something, whatever, or a few, but they weren't on site or anything. They just come back after the work shift and check everything's all right and whatnot, and then usually they'll go. You know, you can talk to them and shit, and I guess they'll hang around if you do, like, if you got concerns and that, but I have no idea how 6 hours, that just sounds utopian, fucking 6 hours, providing you food with very low rent. Like, the rent at this guy's one was, like, similar to yours, you know, it was, like, maybe even less, and he got his food and everything. But I'm sure the work was fucking way more than 6
You're
hours.
right. But you know what? Anything we do, any system that we have, like anything that's good can be used to destroy everyone too. It's really, we have a duality in our universe where anything that can be really good can be used to destroy stuff. But when I'm choosing what I want in terms of what's good, I look at the best possible situation in all the situations, and I choose based on that. And to me, I think plays on a lot of the things that we need mentally and helps us fix a lot of our mental illness that we have in terms of not being able to connect with people because there's nobody around you, knowing that you're going to have food ready, knowing that you don't have to work that hard. Like, it's like if you need to, you can get enough money and you have a place to live. People care about you. If you fall behind in rent, everybody knows each other. Maybe you get another opportunity to maybe pick up some other jobs. And that's the thing. If you need extra work to get a little more money, people know you and they're close to you. They live with you, so people can work together. And so really, I'm saying, like, if I look at all of the different situations out there, this is the best one in a good way, but everything can be used to destroy you and become bad. So we have to work hard.
That sounds more like fucking communism, you fucking red. fuck off. No, seriously. Like
No, because I would.
no, I'm
It would
just
have to
kidding.
be
I'm kidding, bro.
voluntary. It have to be voluntary.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
most
yeah,
certainly
but
not a
that does
socialist.
sound like a voluntary commune kind of thing or something. But
Yeah.
where's the free? Like, I thought freedom, quote unquote, freedom was your focus. Like, which is a very vague concept, by the way. You can interpret it like
Sure.
differently, but like, you have rules there. Like, I used to live in a hostel, yeah, for 2 years. Like, it was a good one, a really good one. Like, well, compared to the rest, like, some of them are old prisons with the horrible and shit, but like, fucking like. What's the? I thought freedom was your focus. You know, where's the freedom, bro? I guess you can change jobs and shit, but that just sounds more like a kind of like liberal type idea to me.
The freedom is that in that kind of a situation, it is possible that you and the people that you're with can grow your own food. You have your own food. You don't rely on outside systems, and so you get to choose how you want to live your life. The things I love in this world are all free. I love people. I love people's brains. I love art. I love philosophy. I love reading. And so I don't need, you know what I mean? I'm not going to go and be, I mean, I would probably be a great priest because I just don't care about stuff. And so what I'm saying is, for me in particular, I think this is great for people like me. And so this should be available, and we should try to make it good, because I think it could be great, especially for people with social anxiety that need to have a community and feel lonely. For people that feel lonely and want people around. And so I see what you're saying, and I know, like, anybody talking about anything utopian is really hard. It's hard to make a utopian society or any kind of thing like that. But what I'm saying is, you can get a small group of people, like 100 people or something, and put kind of a commune together, and people can work on it and things like that. And it's kind of fun. I like being an adventurer. I like trying new things. Sometimes I like taking risks and try to do something new that a lot of people don't want to do. And so there's a lot of reasons and motivations for doing different things. Now, for me, it's the best system. I'm not sure if I would say overall, out of all possible systems, period, it's the best. But with the information I have now, with the thoughts that I have now, that's what I think. And I'm always willing to change that based on new evidence. So,
did you feel like you had enough privacy there? Like, did you have a roommate, or like, what was?
Yeah. After you live in the co-op for a while, you can get your own room, but everybody starts with a roommate.
Oh, okay.
But everybody's really friendly. At the one I was at, it was great. So.
Yeah. I would need my privacy. That would be my number one concern.
You can set it up if you like rent a house. Like, you could rent a nice house, and probably if you have it's like a 4-bedroom house or something, you could rent out 2 of the rooms.
Yeah.
And you could probably have your own bathroom, your own bedroom, and then maybe the other 2 people share a bathroom, and you could probably end up where you're paying pretty low rent, maybe like under $200 a month if you're taking the risk and subletting.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Where you can kind of create your own co-ops in a way.
My sister kind of has that.
And then if you and the people living there can work together on food and things like that, you certainly could make a situation where just it's not costing you much a month to live.
That's what I wanted to do. So, yeah, basically it was going to end up being like you said, yeah.
And where everyone gets their own even. So it doesn't have to be people sharing a bedroom. It could be people all getting their own bedroom and just working together in a single property, a single location, and you're probably going to get be able to get costs down pretty much, and it might be better. Sometimes it's nice to live with other people if you jive with them and you give each other privacy.
Yeah, I had a roommate for a while. It's just, and we got along really great. It's just I need a good amount of privacy. So that would be my main concern. I need a place that I can shut myself in and not see anybody. So, but I'm sure that's
so if you have your own bedroom and they're not polluting it with noise pollution, like playing loud music all the time, if they work with you on that,
I could probably handle that. Yeah.
It would probably work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really depends if you like the people, though. Like, I had a good hostel experience. When I'm talking about this shit logic guy, I'm not actually against it. On a personal level, it suited me as well a lot. It really helped me out with my essay and shit. But, like, you say growing your own food. Like, what? Do you have a fucking allotment or something? Like, it's hard to grow. Like, do you have a whole farm or fucking something?
Yeah, people should learn to grow their own food and do it. If we have land outside that is just sitting there, we should be growing stuff. It should be normal for everybody to grow stuff. Why can't I walk down the street and knock on each person's door and ask them, hey, do you understand how food gets grown? everybody knows nothing about food anymore, but it's the most important thing for life to exist. And so what I'm saying is if we need to have time for that, and then within our community try to grow our own food and help each other. That's what I'm saying.
To me, it doesn't seem that complicated to grow stuff. It seems like we go out of our way to make things not grow.
Yeah.
Like we really go out of our way to kill things.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem all that complicated.
Do you want to eat bushes?
Do I want to eat bushes?
Do you want to eat weeds? Is that what you're saying?
But I would eat bugs, and I would eat animals that live in the bushes, and I would eat lettuce.
Right. Yeah, you do eat. Yeah, if you grew it. I tried to eat a ladybird once. It tasted terrible, but that's why it looks like it does to warn birds. But apparently I'm too stupid to get its warning.
with a what is it called? A magnifying glass once, and it smelled good actually.
Oh, you should have eaten it. I ate a worm once, like a dead worm that was cooking in the sun. I cut it open. I watered out its grit and stuff. Yeah, grit.
Hey,
and
just a question, Andrew. Have you ever done that thing with a magnifying glass where you burn an ant or cause a leaf to catch on fire or something like that?
Me?
Yeah, like have you ever burned a hole in a leaf or burned a bug with a magnifying glass?
Very important question.
It's very important. You haven't lived.
Nope, I never did that.
You haven't lived till you've caused the light to magnify on one particular point and caused to burn a hole in a leaf, at least.
I've done.
You can smoke weed like that.
Oh, you've done it, David?
Sure.
It's
when I was
pretty cool,
a
right?
little kid, yeah, it's cool.
That'd be pretty cool to light a joint with a magnifying glass.
That would be pretty badass.
Anyway, so let's move on to the next topic. So
why not?
I wanted to talk about disciplining yourself. So what does everybody do to discipline yourself? How do you get yourself motivated to do the stuff that you want to do in your life, you guys?
Oh, I've got strong opinions on this. I don't know if anybody else wants to go first.
Yeah.
No, go forth with your strong opinions.
I'll go first, David, since you have strong opinions.
Okay.
I'll just say quickly, I see myself being very undisciplined in certain areas of my life, and it definitely, being a person who has high goals for myself, I think sometimes I'm just so undisciplined I'm not even achieving things that people with lower goals are achieving. It's hard sometimes to be disciplined. It's very difficult to get yourself to do the things that you'd like to. It's not like I'm a robot. I can't just say, go ahead, do this, and then do it. A lot of times I say, do this, and I just never do it.
You gotta discipline. You know what I mean? You just gotta get used to it. It's hard. You gotta overcome.
My opinion on like self-discipline, self-improvement, stuff like that is, I mean, you don't have to force yourself to do something that you want to do. So like if you really, that's the thing. Like I don't think it's something even worth thinking about necessarily. Like because it's like if you want to do something, then you're going to force yourself to do it. And if you don't want to do something, then you're not going to end up doing it, no matter how much you try or want to do it mentally. So yeah, I don't like the whole idea of self-improvement or self-discipline because it's just deceiving. Because it's like you literally can't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do. Everything you do, you do because you want to do it, even if it's painful. Like you do it because you want whatever the outcome or the good feeling that you'll get afterwards. So like I don't think you even need to worry about self-discipline. I mean that's just not even.
I don't know. I don't know if discipline's the right word, but like it's like a fat person who doesn't want to be morbidly obese.
Yeah.
I'm not a fat person, but I do have situations like that where I want to do something like, oh, this is really causing trouble in my life. I should just do this, but then I don't.
Yeah. Well, then I would say you don't really want to do it. Like if you do, then you would be making efforts to do it.
Couldn't you use the word they're lacking discipline to describe the situation? Because they do really want to lose the weight. They just don't actually do anything.
I get
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. They don't really want to do it because they're still...
I don't think... Yeah. Because I think people just deceive themselves when they think about that.
But there has to be a word to describe it, right?
Yeah, and I would say... You don't want to do it. I mean, just be honest with yourself. Like,
okay,
if you're not trying to lose weight,
but they do want to do it. They just don't want to put the work in, and that's what I would say about myself. I want to do a lot of things, but maybe I'm not putting the work in because I'm undisciplined. I'm deciding. I'm not saying there's like an invisible force. Look at me, I'm a victim. I'm just trying to use a word here to describe the situation. Because just saying they don't want to do it, I feel it doesn't describe the situation properly.
Okay, fair enough. Just for me, it makes sense because it's like, I mean, you know, like we were talking earlier, like me going out and talking to people, like making an effort to do that. Well, I haven't done that yet because I haven't wanted to do it. And as soon as I actually want to do it, then I'll go out and do it.
I think you might be right.
I just haven't reached the point of actually wanting to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
And thinking about it, torturing myself, like, oh my gosh, like, why am I not doing this? I want to do this, but I'm not doing it. Well, that's not, I'm just deceiving, I'm just torturing myself mentally. I should just be honest and say, well, I'm not doing it because I really don't want to do it yet. I'll just wait till I want to do it, and then I'll do it.
I don't know if that describes your situation accurately.
Okay.
No, can I chime in, right?
Yeah.
Like, if someone, there's different, like, if you don't want to do something in the moment, yeah, that doesn't mean you don't want the effects of it or something. Like, say someone who's overweight doesn't want to go for a jog or something. Maybe, you know, maybe it's tense on their bones and shit, and maybe they're really self-conscious about what they look like and shit.
Yeah.
But they want it, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, like, don't torture yourself, yeah.
At that,
like,
at that point, I'd just say they're not being smart. I mean, or they're not being logical, since this is Logic Church. Like, yeah, they're just. I mean, if they have a desired.
People are predictably irrational, even yourself, David.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're all irrational, but yeah, like if they want to lose weight, then they should know that there are multiple ways to do that, not just jogging. I mean, it's like, okay, you don't want to jog, that's great.
Well,
but if you want to lose weight, you'll find another way. You've got a brain. You go on the internet, type in how to lose weight, or just use your common sense. You don't eat as many calories as you eat less calories than you expel. Like that's the easiest. Or maybe I was saying it the wrong way. Yes, I was saying the right way. You eat less calories than you expel. That's how you lose weight. That's no matter what you're doing, just don't take in as many calories as you're giving out.
Are you saying discipline doesn't exist?
Sort of. Yeah, I just think it's all I just think it's all like desire. It's all, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it?
But David,
discipline, well, yeah, discipline exists.
And we're giving you information. It's not that you don't want to do it, and it's not that we're giving you information and you're looking for information. So to bring it down to, oh, I just don't want to do it, to me sounds like, I understand why you're saying that.
Yeah.
To me, that sounds more like saying I have free choice. I'm choosing not to do it. But that's not the end of the analysis there. We're giving you more information because you're working on one set of information and we're working on a different set of information. And isn't discipline learning something?
Is discipline learning something? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. I don't see discipline's just where you think you're making yourself do something, or you're putting extra effort into some activity because you want something. You want some outcome.
Do you mind if I add some insight to this? So my eyes always hurt because I have that eye thing. So everything I do hurts me. And so I have to have the idea that I'm going to do this and it's going to hurt, but that sacrifice of that pain for the completion of this task is worth it. And so maybe for each person, they have different reasons why they do or do not want to do something. So they have to learn a new thought or a new perspective or outlook that they can't ignore to the point where they can make themselves do whatever it is that they did.
Yeah, you have to get to like the breaking point, the point of no return, where it's then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I really want to do this, and I'm gonna go do it. But before then, you were just like, kind of ambiguous. And there are like competing desires. So maybe the fat person who wants to lose weight and jog, their other desire, their other want, which is just comfort, is stronger than their desire to lose weight. So yeah, just be honest and say my desire to be comfortable is stronger than my desire to lose weight.
Right, and maybe the honesty helps too.
Build on what Andrew said, is that you're kind of learning a new way of thinking. You're bringing information in. You're bringing a new way of thinking about something.
Yeah.
Discipline, maybe. I don't know what to call it, but you're certainly it's something that's giving you a new tool so that you can do something. It's not as easy as once before they just chose. Certainly, I'm not going to paint them as a victim, so if that's what you're talking about, I don't want to say, oh, you're a victim, but I certainly there's something to discipline. I don't really know if I'm what's it called, saying it right. But yeah, I kind of agree with what Andrew said.
Okay.
Yeah, and also before, maybe like a year ago, I wasn't very active, and I was doing YouTube a little bit. I was doing a lot of other things, but I couldn't get myself to put out the effort to go anywhere with the stuff that I was doing. And I eventually decided it was really important to me to do well at the stuff that I enjoy doing, and that's what I was going to focus on. And I needed it, and I wasn't going to stop until I worked hard at the stuff I cared about, and I did well at it. So it really comes to a point where you have to face yourself, know thyself, and then you make a decision based on that you know will suit you. And once you start doing it, you'll see that, oh, this is what I wanted, and you'll just keep doing it, right? So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about discipline.
Yeah. Maybe it's, that's, I guess that's all I'm saying is just, just know what your actual desires are. Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely the most important thing you can understand is how you are and the way things need to be for you to be happy or to be comfortable with yourself. And a lot of trauma that people have is that one side of their brain is rejecting them from becoming their true self because it thinks something that the other side doesn't think, and they're just competing ideas in their head. Yeah. And so something that we have to overcome, figure out which set of ideas and which points are the ones that are me, that I really do care about, and which ideas have been shoved down my throat or something like this, and reject the stuff that's not valuable to you, that doesn't affect your life or help you to understand something in a positive way, that you see it as positive, right? That's positive for you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Does it make me happy, or does this idea not make me happy? Yeah. Yeah,
and no matter what you find, you kind of have to accept it. Don't hurt people. So, if deep down you want to hurt people, don't do that. That's a bad one. Don't do that.
Yeah. I don't want to go down that subjective rabbit hole again. So I'm just going to be quiet.
Okay, so I have one more topic that we can talk about. And then we'll probably talk about this, and if anybody has anything else they want to say, you guys can feel free to do that. And we'll probably end because we've been going for a couple hours. So the last topic is, I have this sort of new idea I've been thinking about, everything from you. I feel like we need each other too much, and I think that all of your fulfillment that you need in life you can get through you by understanding yourself and accepting yourself, and not needing other people to appreciate you per se or to care about you. And really where the value is inside of you, and respecting yourself and caring about yourself and not worrying about yourself. You have to think highly of yourself, but don't be arrogant. Have positive qualities, but go for things that make you feel good and help you to be the person you want to be, right?
Yeah.
So this is some stuff I've been thinking about. What do you guys think about that?
Jamal?
Me?
Yeah, Jamal.
I think that sounds quite positive, actually. It sounds quite interesting. Like, definitely, I think we should think more about ourselves a bit more, because we tend to, I don't know, we tend to just think more about like what others think. We tend to just seek out. I don't know why we tend to just. Tend to seek out other people's opinion or other people's comfort, and because we feel that that's, in some ways, that's been programmed into us by society, in a sense. Like, you must seek out your comfort isn't enough, in a sense. Like, you need to have someone else's comfort. Like, someone else's comfort is more important, but it's like, if I don't have someone else's comfort, does my heart stop beating? Do I really die on the spot? If someone doesn't I'm still waking up in the morning. I still wake up in the morning. I don't need someone else's comfort to wake up in the morning, do I? I don't need a hug from someone to wake up. I don't need a hug from some. I don't need like a kiss from someone to sit. Do you get what I mean? I don't need.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like we don't really need to reproduce. I've actually got to the point where I feel like we don't really need to reproduce. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Why do we need to keep making babies? Why do we need to keep doing that?
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just, you're doing it for reproduction's sake. I mean, I get the idea, like, people want to start families and and all that shit. But yeah, that's probably one reason. That's probably just one reason. But so many families. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to like promote narcissism at all. I really am just saying, like, you know, needing other people is such a burden, and we need to like just need ourselves. You know, it's best if we just have ourselves.
Other people are not dependable, like sources of you know, comfort, and so it's like that's the ultimate goal, is to become self-sufficient and self-reliant.
I've lately come to a point where if I meet someone that I really like or someone I enjoy, I like thank myself for being able to enjoy them to such a level. I'm like, wow, I'm so great that I can enjoy this person to this much, and I'm putting all the value. It's narcissistic again, Andrew, but I say I'm putting all that value into them. I'm the great one for being able to enjoy them like this.
Yeah, but you know what? But you're doing it because you're interested in them, and you see something in them that they don't see. And so you're interested in guiding them through a process or something.
Even if it's like a great person, I'm like, wow, I enjoy them in a way no one else can.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
I understand that.
That's what it's about, because when you enjoy someone's company, it's probably because he has attributes or same values as you, so it's kind of like you're enjoying yourself in a way.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like I'm enjoying myself, even if I'm enjoying someone else.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
Is that possible? That's what I want, the self-love thing. Like, lots of people say that it is. I haven't gotten to the point where me, you know, talking to myself in my head and saying, like, you're awesome is the same as someone else saying you're awesome. Like, it's just not the same. So, like, I don't know, maybe it is possible.
For me, someone else saying I'm awesome doesn't mean as much as me saying it to myself.
I think so, too. You have to
when
be satisfied
someone tells
with
me I'm good looking or something like that, I go, that's just my face. What does it matter? Like,
yeah. Okay. I mean, I'd like to get to that point. So that's good.
To bring up Lisa Emerald, for example.
Sure.
Lisa Emerald actually goes into like fits of panic when people start complimenting her too much on her looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She shouldn't worry. She should just enjoy.
Now, I'm not on that spectrum. What I would say is I'm a little disconnected from, say, my looks. If someone I'm not saying I'm a good-looking guy. I'm no David or Andrew, but I'm what I am saying is that if someone compliments me on my looks, for example, it's not the same as me complimenting myself, staring at myself in the mirror and being like, that's who I am. That's me. What am I doing here? That means a lot more to me.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm the same way. Like, when someone compliments me, I'm kind of skeptic about it. I don't really think much of it, but for some reason, when someone puts me down or whatever, you know, like, then that really hits me. I'm like, oh man, that feels bad.
Yeah, but I don't feel bad for me when somebody makes fun of me. I feel bad for them that they felt like they needed to be so immature and do that. You know, because it means they have a mental illness and they are projecting it upon me. I have no problem having a conversation with anybody. I have no problem being witty and making them smile and making them happy. So if somebody has a problem with me, it's their fault. Because I'm more than willing to be your friend. I'm more than willing to make you happy and help you and make yourself better if you want. And so I'm fine. And so I don't worry about what anybody thinks. As long as you know that you're good and you feel confident about that, that's what matters. And so anyone can say anything about me. It doesn't mean anything, because if I don't agree with what's being said, then I'm not living my life the way that I am, you know? It's not me, you know?
That's the funny thing. I totally get that, you know? I totally get that people many times project. You know, when someone sometimes criticizes me, and you know, not a constructive criticism, I totally understand that they just, it's them and not me, but for some reason I still feel bad, you know. It's kind of weird.
Right, and you know, it sucks. It sucks if you feel bad, but you know, words are just a bunch of mouth noises, and when you don't have logic, it's just a bunch of it's it's like, okay, I don't speak that language, so if you want to speak English, then maybe we'll talk, you know. But I don't speak. You're stupid. Meh. I don't speak that language, so you know, you want to have a conversation, we can do that. But you know, I don't understand what you're saying. You know, just like an ape in the jungle. Woo-hoo, ha ha ha. You know, I don't understand. So when you look at it like that, then it just becomes funny. You know, it just looks funny.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, you're so silly and you don't know it. I'm sorry. You're a funny, funny person, you know? So I enjoy people who are cruel because I realize how silly they are. It's the cruel people that need help, guys. It's the cruel people who need our love.
And Jamal.
True.
And me. I need a mother. I want Lisa to be my mother. Like, ex-pal, that make me your brother. I don't know what that is. It's not even here.
Yeah, you can join. You can be one of Lisa's kids. I mean, she's adopting all of us. It's nice to have like a mother who's younger than me and attractive and all that. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
David, will you be my mother? You just need a wig. You're actually surprisingly, for an introverted man, that's probably younger than me by half a year. You're quite motherly.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, well,
Give off
comforting.
those mother vibes.
Comforting. Maybe not motherly, but.
He's jelly because you look like the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. He's jelly.
I don't know what that means.
Mental health communities.
I don't even know what to say.
Just say no to him if you'd like to. Go ahead, you can practice rejecting him. No, I will not be your mother.
No, sir.
Damn it.
Sorry.
Well, you can't hear me. I'm in your
You're supposed to say, it'll cost you. It'll cost you.
Yeah.
What?
No, I don't want
to cost?
5 jelly beans.
I don't want to Tim to set a price.
This is where you take advantage of him. You take money from him.
Fuck off. Hey, we're an ocean away. We're the Atlantic away, so.
Hey, did you hear? I'm going to
I feel
kidnap
safe.
David Weston. When I get him.
Yeah, he's coming up to Alabama. He's just gonna show up.
Dude, I'll pay you money to get him to me.
Like in a crate, just ship me off in a crate.
This is live. Hello, police. I'm joking. NSA.
You have money.
You better, because they're watching. This is Logic Church. Of course they're watching.
David's worth at least 10,000.
Oh, that's encouraging. 10,000.
Right, I would ask how much money your family's got, but then it'll make it sound more serious, and I'll actually get thrown in jail.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, so you're going to ransom him.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you can do that.
You ain't messing with no broke, but she ain't, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
No
Gold
problem.
digger over here.
Yeah. Ain't messing with no, yeah. Okay. Alright, we're on a tangent now.
Okay, guys. Well, that was all I had. That was all I had. So I was gonna see if you guys had anything else, and otherwise, you know, we've been talking for a while. So
Yeah.
So long, audience.
This is good.
I hope you enjoyed Logic Church.
yeah, that was great. I had a great time, everybody.
Well, when did you
Better
start?
than real church.
Like, what time did you start?
We started at 12, so next week we'll be starting at 12 again. Every
How
Sunday.
many hours ago was that? 'Cause
2
2
hours
hours
ago.
ago.
Huh?
Yeah, a little over
2.
2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this a regular thing then? Because I've only heard about it like yesterday.
Yeah, I just
or
started it. I started it last week, so.
I don't
That's
know.
fine.
You should kick some people out of mental health communities.
Who?
Who should we kick out? Mental health communities, tell me.
Not Joe Kidwell.
I was making a joke about you. I was trying to scare you.
No. Fuck off. You can suck a dick, bro. I am like, I spent too much time in the mental health community.
Okay, well, when you're ready to be nice, you can come back. You're gonna send you to the principal's office, because
Yeah. That's what you say.
I actually
right?
couldn't make it in today, by the way. I had to come in under a different name. That could happen to you, mental health communities. I couldn't make it in as ex-Polydoc.
That's weird. Why?
I don't know.
Oh well.
Yeah. I think
Anyway.
Logic Only Zone, he tried to delete you, but he forgot you got another account. He tried to block you, right?
What?
I don't think it was that. I have no idea why.
No,
Nah,
no.
some
I love
technical bullshit, I
him.
guess.
No, he's great. Yeah, some technical stuff.
Yeah.
Something
Anyway,
technical.
so guys, I'm gonna end it here. Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Alright, this was
All
really
right.
fun.
You
Bye.
guys.
Everyone.
Great.